foremost, what is financial performance? Financial performance shows the overall health and stability of the business. For this project, the financial performance of two public listed companies is analysed. Both companies operate in the Malaysian telecommunication sectors. The selected companies is Celcom-Digi Berhad and also Maxis Berhad. To determine the better investment choice, financial data from their 2025 annual reports is used. A total of 12 financial ratios are calculated to give a clear picture of their business health. These ratios are divided into 4 key areas. The first one is liquidity. Liquidity shows the ability of the company to settle short-term debts without facing financial trouble. And second, profitability, which measures the actual capacity to generate profit from daily operations. And the third one is efficiency, which is to check the effectiveness of asset utilization to generate sales. Lastly, leverage. Leverage looks at the total debt level and the overall financial risk of the business. Next, moving on to the company backgrounds, Celcom-Digi Berhad is a major telecommunications company formed to provide the widest and fastest network experience in Malaysia. A massive customer base of over 20 million users is served by the company. The largest retail network in the country is also managed by the Celcom-Digi, featuring over 10,000 touchpoints. Strong networks coverage is provided, reaching 97.9% of the population with 4G LTE. Additionally, customers are very active, using the average of 42 GB of data every month. Digital tools are highly prioritized, with over 5 million active users relying on the unified Celcom-Digi app to easily manage bills and also rewards. On the other hand, Maxis Berhad is another leading integrated telecommunication provider. In 2025, exactly 30 years of successful operations in Malaysia was celebrated by the company. A total of 10.8 million users are connected across their customer mobile and home fiber services. Excellent customer service is the key strength, as 88% of the customers' issues are successfully resolved on the very first contact. To ensure quality service, with 986 million was invested by Maxis in 2025 to maintain a strong 97% 4G network coverage. Furthermore, new technologies like artificial intelligence, or we call as AI, are being utilized to improve services, and Maxis Home Solar was recently launched to help households switch to clean energy. Now I will pass the presentation to the next member.
I'm going to analyze the liquidity ratio for both companies. Maxis recorded a current ratio of 27, which is significantly higher than Celcom-Digi's 0.805. A higher current ratio indicates that the company has more than enough current assets to meet its short-term liabilities. Now we see the quick ratio. We see that both companies have the same quick ratio and with the current ratio. This is because both companies reported no inventories and prepayments in the calculation. This indicates that Maxis is highly capable of setting its short-term obligation immediately using its most liquid assets. Meanwhile, Celcom-Digi may experience greater pressure in meeting short-term commitments without relying on future cash inflows. I'm going to explain about profitability ratio. Both Celcom-Digi and Maxis recorded a gross profit margin of 100% because no direct production costs or cost of goods sold were reported for the calculation. Therefore, this ratio does not provide a meaningful comparison between the two companies due to the nature of available financial information. Maxis recorded a net profit margin of 100.23%, slightly higher than Celcom-Digi's 93.71%. Although both companies demonstrate exceptionally high profitability, Maxis generates a slightly higher net profit relative to its sales revenue. This indicates that Maxis converted a large proportion of its revenue into net profit during the financial period. For return of capital employed, Celcom-Digi achieved 8.936% compared to Maxis at 5.24%. This indicates that Celcom-Digi utilized its capital more efficiently to generate operating profits. A higher return on capital employed affects better management efficiency in both long-term capital.
Next, Now I will present to you about the analysis of statement based on leverage ratio. So Maxis recorded an inventory turnover of 10.27 times, slightly higher than Celcom-Digi's 9.27 times. This indicates that Maxis converts its inventory into sales at a marginally faster rate, reflecting more efficient inventory management. However, since no cost of goods sold was directly reported by either company, sample figures were used in the calculation. So this ratio should be interpreted with caution and does not provide a fully meaningful comparison between the two companies. Both Celcom-Digi and Maxis recorded an average collection period of 0 days, as neither company reported outstanding trade receivables. This reflects the nature of the telecommunications industry, where customers generally pay through prepaid plans or immediate billing arrangement. Therefore, both companies collect cash from their customers almost instantly and carry nearly zero commercial customer debt, which is favorable for their cash flow position. Celcom-Digi achieved a total asset turnover of 0.35 times, which is considerably higher than Maxis of 0.052 times. This indicates their Celcom-Digi generated 3.35 ringgit of revenue for every 1 ringgit of asset invested, compared to only 0.05 ringgit for Maxis. In other words, Celcom-Digi utilized its assets more efficiently to generate sales during the financial period, while Maxis' large asset base produced relatively lower revenue. Overall, Celcom-Digi demonstrates stronger asset utilization efficiency between the two companies. Okay, next, the leverage ratio. So, Celcom-Digi recorded a debt ratio of 14.64%, while Maxis recorded an extremely low debt ratio of 0.012%. This indicates that only 14.64% of Celcom-Digi's total assets are financed by debt, whereas Maxis' assets are almost entirely financed by equity. Although both companies maintain low debt levels, Maxis operates with virtually no reliance on borrowings, which places the company at a very low level of financial risk. A similar pattern is observed in the debt to equity ratio, where Celcom-Digi recorded 17.16% compared to Maxis at 0.012%. This shows the company, Celcom-Digi, uses a small but noticeable amount of debt relative to shareholders' equity, while Maxis' capital structure is almost fully supported by its own equity. A lower debt-to-equity ratio indicates lower dependence on external creditors and greater financial stability for Maxis. For times interest earned, Celcom-Digi recorded 15.1 times, meaning its earning before interest and tax can cover its interest expense more than 15 times over. This reflects a very strong ability to meet its debt obligations comfortably. Meanwhile, Maxis times interest earned could not be computed because the company reported no interest expense, indicating that none of its earnings are assumed to cover debt costs. Overall, both companies show low financial risk, but Maxis holds the more conservative capital structure, while Celcom-Digi still manages its modest debt level very safely.
Finally, I would like to conclude our financial statement analysis of Celcom-Digi Berhad and Maxis Berhad. Overall, both companies have shown good financial performance. However, they each have different strengths based on the financial ratio that we calculated. Firstly, Maxis performs better in terms of liquidity. Its current ratio and quick ratio are significantly higher than Celcom-Digi's, which means Maxis has more than enough current asset to settle its short-term liabilities. Besides that, Maxis also has an extremely low debt ratio and debt to equity ratio that show the company depends very little on debt financing and making it financially more stable and less risk. Meanwhile, Celcom-Digi perform better in profitability and efficiency, which record higher returns on capital employed, returns on asset, and total asset turnover. This result indicates that Celcom-Digi is more efficient in using its asset and capital to generate profit. Next, we continue with discussion about a potential investor. And if I, as a potential investor, I would like to choose Maxis Berhad because I believe that financial stability and lower debt are important factors for a long-term investment. Although Celcom-Digi generates better returns, Maxis offer lower financial risk and stronger financial position, making it a more secure investment choice.